Hello, guys. Welcome back to another game review. Today I have a reviewer on board here. It's Milkshake's my buddy right here. He's probably going to be hanging out for the video. He doesn't get down that often when he's up here by this point. Uh, Today I'll be talking about the other sequel that I spoke about earlier, which was Dead Space 2. The other sequel today I'll be addressing is Borderlands 2. Um, I see you guys like love that one, by the way. Thank you so much, by the way. Uh, I love Borderlands to death. It was a series I always enjoyed. I even pre-ordered 3 as soon as or a bit after I watched the actual. I've never sit through video game things very often, surprisingly enough. I've need to nowadays because I do review stuff, but and I'll start doing stuff like that if you guys want me to update videos on like actual news, video game news. If maybe I'll start doing that kind of stuff as well for you guys if you want. I'd love to do it, to be honest. Just keeping up on video game stuff. But Borderlands 2, of course. Let me please. I forgot to do this for Dead Space, so I'm gonna make sure I give it to you now. But Borderlands 2. Hello, little man. How you guys doing? I need you to assist me. Oh, I forgot to do prices, by the way, in the last video. Let me not forget this time. So, Borderlands 2 came out 2012, September 17th. It probably came out a little bit earlier. I'll have to find that out for the other uh consoles, but for Steam at least, it came out 2012. And has pretty good. He's doing some co-commentating. But uh, pretty much was a bit after one. If I remember correctly, I can't remember how exactly long after one, but you happen to play as a whole new set of Vault Hunters. You're still on Pandora. I believe you do not leave Pandora in this one at all. Um, and you play as a whole new set of Vault Hunters that you can play as. Now, this game also introduced DLC Vault Hunters, which I think is a pretty smart idea. But you can play as Maya. She's the siren of this game. She has more telekinetic and kind of like grapple powers. You can play as uh Salvador. He's considered a gunzerker. His power means he can dual wield primary weapons, pretty much two weapons at all, and fire for a short period of time. Um, Zero, who's your assassin, he kind of takes up Mordecai's spot in the whole snipery stealth thing, but he does get the ability to do like stealth attacks on people. And then lastly is, oh, he's the one I forget every time. I'm so sorry. I don't think it's gonna tell me who the characters are in this one. Yes, it probably will. No, it won't. You will just tell me Gunzerkers. How dare somebody in the comments please talk about him for a little second, please. I will talk about the other ones though. You do get to play as Gage. She's a mechromancer. She has a big old mech as her like kind of sidekick that she can send out called Death Trap. Um, she does. You also get Krieg. I believe that's his actual name. He's just usually just called the Psycho. It's really cool to be playing a Psycho though. He's also one of probably the most complex characters to exist in that one. So it's very incredible to see him story wise, and I'll probably talk about him a little bit more in Borderlands 3 since he has a little bit more of his story done in Borderlands 3. I cannot for the life of me remember the base guys. He does a rocket stuff and he has a turret just like Roland does in the first game. Um, Man, I'm blanking so hard on this, but let me go up top here because I know I have it in this section. Where you at, Borderlands? Um, I'll come back to him. I will find his name. I feel bad. Um, Continuing on with the idea of or not the idea, but the Vault Hunters primarily. I do believe, unfortunately, this was a game that introduced two of the less than liked Vault Hunters, which are, of course, the one who I forget his name, and Salvador. Um, I'm sorry if you guys, some of you do like those two. I didn't particularly, I didn't actually dislike them all that much, like people tend to, but I just didn't think they were as cool or fun as Maya and Zero. Zero was definitely my primary, but I did play all of them to an extent at one point. Salvador was still interesting to play with and not bad to play with, but I think I primarily played Zero mostly throughout Borderlands 2. Or if I did play him, Gage or Krieg. Um, but there's a similar plot in Borderlands 2. You're of course still vault hunters. You're trying to find out what's inside these vaults. Now on the other hand, you do got a new primary villain, which is Handsome Jack. Handsome Jack is considered to be one of the greatest villains in video gaming, for a very good reason. He's fun, super charismatic. He's awesome to listen to all the time. He may sound cocky and over and as he talks to you so much throughout the game, but he's generally a pretty fun guy to listen to, and I think he just happens to put up so much charisma that it brought him so way high up in the villains category. Um, you do play someone similar to him in pre-sequel. I won't be getting into pre-sequel that much. Like I said, I hadn't played it too much, but I will be trying to do. I might bring a friend on potentially for pre-sequel because I don't know as much as they do about pre-sequel. But um, and maybe if I can continue that scope, we'll see how that goes. Uh, but Borderlands 2 also introduced a whole host of new things, new weapons, of course, as any game typically does. Their whole marketing scheme, I think, in 2 was how many more weapons, like a bazillion or something like that. They made up a word for it. Um, so that was their whole thing about it. There's a whole host of locales in this game. The designs for everything is wonderful. Um, a fun fact that I didn't say in Borderlands 1 was they were going to design the game to be realistic, like modern day realism kind of um graphics and such. Like they were trying to go Call of Duty with it. Realize that that was going to be way too extensive and too difficult to do in the time frame they had for the game. And so they decided to go for the cartoony kind of cell shaded design, which perfect. By far the best decision they could have ever made. That cell shaded design is iconic to Borderlands. I know Telltale does a ton of it as well, but Borderlands, I think, is one of the ones people think about the most when it comes to that design style. Um, so give props to just not having enough time to work on something and you making a better thing because of it. That's an incredible story, I think, for a video game. Um, I'm trying to think of what else is particularly more newer in Borderlands 2. If not, I'll mainly talk about my kind of experiences with it because my experiences are what really holds Borderlands 2 so high for me. Um, Not only did I play it an absolute ton like I did 1 back in the day when it first came out, I had played through I think practically all of it with my friend as well, more recently. And we did talk about adding a adding a let's play of that through here. I probably will at some point, especially if he really wants to get into it. We'll probably do modded, by the way. This game, just like 1, has mods and adds a whole host of new things. So do check out mods for this game but believe me, you're not going to have to if you want to enjoy the playing game. The base game itself is still wonderful. But mods do add something new in case you want to check that out. Borderlands 2 introduces a few DLCs that were absolutely spectacular. I did play through all the DLCs with my friend as well. That's actually when I played them. I don't remember playing much of the DLCs when the game first came out. I didn't really buy too many back then, so more recently I had, and they're crazy fun. You got some really fun characters in these DLCs. The most notable DLC in Borderlands 2 is Tiny Assault on Tiny Tina's Keep and everything. It's the whole where the D&D inspiration came for Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Um, and so it was so popular that they ended up actually making that spin-off game because of it. I think that spin-off game did wonderful. People loved it. I have not beaten it. Don't ask me why. I can't tell you why. I will try too soon, please. Um, but that was the big thing too. Borderlands 1 didn't have that stupendous of DLCs. I didn't talk too much about them. I completely forgot they existed for one. Dr. Ned's zombie kind of thing, and then which were claptraps, I believe, and then uh the Thunderdome one, which I think was the better of them. Also Torg is introduced in this game. Torg by far is one of the best characters. He's just that loud muscle bro guy, but he's also like really like intelligent and has his own gun line. He's the new gun line into, I believe. There might be one other one. There's like some alien ones you get into, but Torg is the big one where he does a lot of explosive damage with his guns. And they're pretty cool looking. They're more race car-y, which is so super fun. Uh if you're wanting a game that you're gonna put roughly, I want to say at minimum 60 hours, I want to say, if you want to get through a lot of it and at a okay pace. um i know I know the moment I look at mine, I'm gonna be like, I got like 30 hours into the game or something, but it's probably not, I promise. So Borderlands 2 is probably down here. My friend is still playing Lost Ark. Where is it? Right there. B. My things are alphabetical. Me, it is up here. There you are. That is not true. Okay, now I'm remembering what's happening here. Currently, Borderlands 2 on Steam is 10 hours. Now, that is absolutely untrue. That is because we started playing with mods. That is the modded stuff. I played a lot of it on PlayStation. I will have to check um, on PlayStation how many hours. I think I can check how many hours I may have put into a game on the PlayStation 4. But it's way higher than that. It's like probably 90 to 100, I want to say, with the DLC stuff included. But they are wonderful games. Co-op wise, you're gonna probably not find much better experiences. I'm sure there's some really good ones out there, but Borderlands 2 co-op stuff is so fun, so enjoyable. You're gonna have an absolute blast with this game. It is a game I'm willing to give a 10 out of 10 to. The first one was stupendous, but it lacked a couple things. But I think Borderlands 2 just added oh so many incredible things to the Borderlands IP, and it's by far one of my favorite games of all time, definitely. Um Probably in my top 10 at minimum. It's so good, and I do heavily recommend it for you guys. Um, as always, I'd like to ask you to like and comment for this video. Who did you play the most in? I forgot to find that guy's name, by the way. Who did you play the most in this one? Was it any of the main characters? Was it the DLC ones? A combo of both? Was it what's his name? His name's not Zane. Zane's the new one in 3. Axton. Yes, Axton. Oh my god, I can't believe I got it right there. Axton and Salvador were the ones and they come back in 3. You'll see them in 3, by the way, if you play it. Um, but believe me, the game still pretty much is perfect otherwise, in my opinion, for a Borderlands game. And otherwise, if you haven't played it, did I push you to play it a little bit? Get your friends. It's very cheap. I will tell you right now the price. I keep meaning to for every single game. It's super cheap right now, by the way. And I think it normally stays cheap. So, or it's a value. It's low still. So $5. What are you doing? $5 right now because of the sale. It's only for another day, by the way. $20 normally. Now, granted, you're gonna want to probably get the game of the year. That's the one that adds every single DLC onto the game. It's only $8. If I post this and you watch it today and you really want Borderlands 2, I would recommend buying it today if you have the possibility. $8 for the entirety, or unless it goes If you don't, it goes back up to 40, which is still worth it, I think. But keep in mind, $8 is pretty nice. A lovely thing they do, by the way, they have a 4-pack, uh, which allows you to purchase the game and send it to 3 other players. What are you doing down there? Oh God, your breath smells terrible, cat. It is $60. That is a amazing price. You're getting 4 copies of the game. You're pretty much paying $15 a copy. Send to your friends. This is, like I said, a wonderful game to be playing with your friends. Lastly, the Handsome Collection, which adds a bunch of the things into the game, is on sale. What is it normally priced at? That's so many things. What is that? I have no idea. It won't tell me the price. How dare it? I'm offended. Anyway, oh yes, here it is. Oh my God, please. If I must convince someone today to get something, the Handsome Collection, which is Borderlands 1 and 2 and pre-sequel, I believe, including every DLC, it's currently $14. 14 whole buckaroos. The game is normally at full price $230. You are saving 94%. I must implore anyone who does like anything similar to Borderlands, if you're gonna play it, buy it today. Get that really huge off. You get like 3 games out of it. I don't think 3 is in that mix. It's fine. 1 and 2 and pre-sequel will hold you for an incredibly long amount of time on their own. Sorry, I do adore this game with a passion. So please, I if I can implore some of you to get it, do recommend so. I don't get any money, of course. I promise I'm not sponsored. Um, Otherwise, for this review, I like to ask you to subscribe. If you do, I think you're wonderful. If you don't, I still think you're wonderful. So it's completely up to you. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.